What's good, nigga? We back with another video. Finally, I am so sorry for the long wait. If you have been waiting for me to upload a video, if you're a subscriber, sorry. Been very, very busy with a bunch of other stuff that's nothing related to this channel. Life stuff, work stuff. But without getting into any of that, we got a new video by my boy, the Black Lion, titled Everything We Know About the newly unveiled, put it right here, bam, newly unveiled Superman sequel, or whatever it's called, Superman sequel, Superman continuation, whatever, Man of Tomorrow, featuring not only my nigga Big Subs, but my nigga Lex Luthor in the power armor. James Gunn, thank you. I actually thought we were gonna get that in the first movie. So to know that already off the gate, before we even get any like true details about this movie, all right, the gate, that's like the thing we know we're getting in this movie. It's gonna be peak. But man, I'm so ready to just talk about and just get into who could possibly be in this movie, who the villain could be, what the title Man of Tomorrow really means for the full, reign of the story. 'Cause I feel like a lot of people are overlooking what Man of Tomorrow could actually, really mean in terms of like the title and just how it could like structure the story. But without further ado, man, like, comment, subscribe, man. Turn on post notifications so you know I'm posting videos. And before we get into the video, new comic of the day. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Read comics, man. Because when we read comics, we get shit like this. You know what I'm saying? We get shit like this. We get niggas that actually care about shit, and we get shit like this, man. It's great. But yeah, without further ado, man, let's get into this bitch. Yes, sir. Working fast, boy. It is. I'm gonna pause real quick. The fact that we're even getting a sequel this fast just tells me that he has a true plan for what like we're getting. Like, we have an actual, probably not fully fleshed out, but at least a good outline, beginning, middle, and end to where he sees at least the first chapter going. Because this chapter, we don't even know how long the chapter is going to be. This chapter could damn near span. It could span 7 years, 8 years, a whole decade. Who knows? So we're getting all this stuff right now, but we don't know what's coming. And shit, we haven't even got to the other heroes yet. Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash. We got Lanterns coming out, which is great, but we haven't got to all the other characters. So the fact that he's working this fast, man, thank you, James. Thank you. Facts. It's crazy. We getting 2 sequels in the span of Batman. Mm-hmm. Literally all that in the span. Crazy. Yeah. And it's still sequel. Yeah. Supergirl's a better title, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. His persona, his morals, yes. Facts. Yes. I love how they unveiled this shit. Just different comic artists. It's peak, man. Yeah. Technically not, yeah. And that's my theory. That nigga right there, you know what I'm saying? Yep. And mind you, like I said in my previous video before, I talked about what I theorized James Gunn wanting out of Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. Gonna pull it up right now. I'm gonna pull it up every time. Read comics. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm telling you, this is what they're doing. I am bro, I am for certain this is what they're doing, bro. Like it's just no way around. Like they're doing this. They're doing this storyline. It's right there. It's right there. But anyway, back to the video.
Lex, however, considers himself to be the Man of Tomorrow, the person who, had it not been for Superman, would have led humanity
the leader of the new world,
a new age of prosperity. Think back to the end of All-Star Superman, where Lex says exactly
nigga wants to be
this.
Julius Caesar, bro.
I could have saved the world. If it had mattered to you, Luthor, you could have saved the world years ago.
I'm going to guess that the movie will take inspiration from the finale of All-Star Superman, amongst others.
Yes.
In the artwork, Superman is wearing his suit from the movie, but I would be shocked if it doesn't get some kind of update, like either removing the collar, some of the lines, or making the yellow a bit less orange and a bit more
They gotta
yellow.
sell toys.
Lex,
they gotta sell toys.
Is wearing his battle suit from the comics, which has never been done in a live-action movie. Obviously, the Raptors were a prototype of this, and we saw versions of the suits in TV shows like Supergirl and Superman and Lois, but never quite 100% accurate.
Yeah,
like
not the
Superman
actual, not the
the
Lex,
fact that he wore a helmet made it pretty different from the comics. Each artwork has a slightly different version of the suit, with ever so slightly different color schemes like shades of green and purple, generally different design patterns, and different sizes. It's possible Lex will go on to wear all three of these suits throughout the movie, or maybe Gunn told the artist to pick any Lexo suit from the comics, and they each chose a different one. This is likely because they haven't yet picked the design for the suit, and if I had to choose, I'd go for the size of this version, since I think the others are either too slim or too bulky, but I wouldn't use the design of this one since it really reminds me of Kang from the MCU. Instead, I'd use the design shown in this art, which is a bit more simplified and a bit nicer. Often, Lex's suit is powered by kryptonite. With
Jim Lee got it, you know what I'm saying? He might go.
Not being any kryptonite left on Earth, something could definitely bring kryptonite to Earth, possibly a meteorite, but maybe a villain with connections to Krypton, like Brainiac. It seems like
Brainiac,
Lex and Superman are going to be fighting each other, being unlikely allies, and also teaming up with each other against a bigger bad. I'm sure Lex will break out of prison and be a menace, but I do hope this doesn't focus
buddy
on Lex
cop. They're turning Superman and Lex into a buddy cop film.
He's the best recurring comic book villain of all time, meaning he can appear in every Superman story and a lot of Justice League stories, and it makes a lot of sense. But just because he appears doesn't mean he always needs to be the main villain, especially since Superman's rogues gallery is so underutilized and
so vast, and we haven't gotten any of it. We only got Lex and Zod.
Then, with Kryptonite being involved,
we need so many more villains.
Titano, or a new version of Metallo, or maybe even bring Bloodsport to see him shooting Superman, which in the DCEU happened before the Suicide Squad. Maybe in the DCU it'll happen.
I want that to be canon.
Tomorrow. The title Man of Tomorrow has been used before in an animated movie called Superman Man of Tomorrow, in which Parasite was the villain and the Lobo had a big role, as well as a comic series called Superman Man of Tomorrow, which features a vast array of different villains, and Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, which featured many villains as well, but the main one was actually
my favorite Superman story.
I could see the comic being used as some inspiration for this movie, and Mr. Mxyzptlk definitely fits James Gunn, but also he might be a bit much.
I'm telling you.
Beyond Superman and Lex,
he
we also have confirmation of Isabella
Merced's
return as Hawkgirl, which means we could assume that the rest of the Justice Gang are returning as well. Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho, and Maxwell Lord at the very least, but considering the interviews in Peacemaker, I'm sure they will have added more members. One possible candidate is Jon Stewart.
One possible,
commented on this post, which sparked debates over the possibility of him appearing. Personally, it seems very likely to me, considering Lantern's releases next year.
Lantern's gonna come out before that,
the Lantern of the DCU, and not having any other confirmed upcoming appearances, I think it's very likely he will appear, and maybe he's going to be recruited into the Justice Gang by Guy Gardner on Lanterns. Other actors also commented, like Skylar Gazando, who will certainly reappear as Jimmy Olsen, Michaela Hoover, who will certainly return as Cat Grant, Titania Piper, who played one of Lex's assistants, Grant Gustin, hinting at him being used as the Flash of the DCU, but also he's known to be a
He's
Superman.
Let's get this bullshit. I'm finna make this a whole little like clip. Hopefully, I make this a TikTok clip or whatever. I'm gonna make this a whole little segment. Grant Gustin is not going to be put in the DCU as the Flash, bro. I'm sorry to whoever think that's gonna actually happen. It's not happening, bro. Because if they're doing any Flash, it's gonna be Wally West. And this nigga's played Flash for literally a decade. They're just not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to whoever really wants that. It's just not happening. Just no. Just get that thought out your head. We're gonna get a new Flash, a new continuity, a new lineage of speedsters, all that shit. The full 9 yards, nigga. We don't need to. You know what I'm saying? We already got shit taken from the DCU that we're trying to implement in this new universe. It's just gonna be too convoluted, nigga. It's already getting kind of not convoluted, but just a little bit. You know, okay, this fits here, this fits here, this fit. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we here. I love the DCU right now. I just don't think Grant Gustin's gonna be a part of it. Not in as the Flash. He could be maybe a new character recast as somebody else potentially, but just not as the Flash. Just. But like I said, he's a Superman fan. Like he just said, he's a Superman fan. Like I knew that about Grant Gustin. He's a Superman fan. Been that way before the Flash and during the Flash. He was constantly wearing Superman zip-up jackets and stuff like that. Yeah. But he's not going to be the Flash.
General, so it's more likely just that. Ben Davis, who voiced Rupert Thorne in Creature Commandos and is prevalent in James Gunn's projects. I doubt Thorne will ever appear in live action again, so he can maybe play someone else. He would actually be pretty good casting for Bebo Babowski, a character I would love to see in this movie.
Bebo, yes.
All of the characters I've already mentioned, I'd like to see Jonathan and Martha Kent, Supergirl, Krypto, Lois Lane, Perry White, Steve Lombard, Ron Troop, Eve Tessmacher, and the Superman robots to all return. Maybe also Rick Flag Sr., maybe Lobo, while introducing new members of the Superman supporting cast, like the aforementioned Bebo Babowski, as well as Dan Turpin and Maggie Sawyer, and maybe
Dan Turpin, please. Oh my God, please bring in Dan Turpin.
Some sort of cameo.
Oh my God, he's probably one of my favorite. I ain't gonna lie, like I know niggas love Commissioner Gordon, but as another nigga that's just a cop, Dan Turpin. If you watch Superman animated series, you know, nigga, I love my nigga Dan Turpin, bruh. He literally designed to look like Jack Kirby, bro.
Role, like one or two of the Creature Commandos. What Men of Tomorrow can be is a sort of crossover between all of the projects that led up until that point, except I guess for the Batman-related projects like Clayface. Superman and Supergirl could appear, you have Green Lantern appearing, you could maybe have a Creature Commando, it connects to Belle Reve, and maybe even Peacemaker can appear. There could be a small crossover event now, a slightly bigger crossover event after that,
I'm saying.
and that all leads into the large crossover event that is the Justice League. Whatever ends up happening, I am super excited.
Justice gonna be the biggest, like,
this is happening so quickly. James Gunn is an absolute machine who might just be the best possible person to spearhead this universe, especially since he makes content and really good quality content so quickly. And 2027 also is looking to be a fantastic year for comic book movies between Superman and the Batman Part 2 with DC. And then over at Marvel, you have Beyond the Spider-Verse and Avengers Secret Wars. Exciting stuff. Let me know your thoughts about Man of Tomorrow in the comments down below. And thanks so much for watching.
Yes, sir. Shout out to my boy Black Lion, bro. Shout out my boy Black Lion. Man, that was a really good video, bro. Shout out Black Lion. Another great video. But as I said again, it all leads here. It all leads here. I promise you, I've said this in a video. What was it? I think it was like one of my reactions, or it was a video talking about Superman. Go through my videos. But literally talked about it. This is what's happening. Lex Luthor will run for president, or probably even my theory personally is that Superman and Lex obviously have to team up to fight Brainiac, because Brainiac's gonna fucking take over the world or capture the Earth or whatnot, or do whatever. And obviously they team up to save the world. But with Lex already being in Belle Reve, Superman has to bust this nigga out of prison, which is gonna be fucking crazy. Because Superman already just saved the world or save Metropolis. Now you got to bust nigga out to save the world. The nigga he just locked up. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, we're gonna have, was it Isabella Merced, obviously is Hawk Girl. So that obviously means the Justice Gang gonna be involved. So we're gonna have Justice Gang over here in this little corner with possibly more members. Obviously with my nigga Jon Stewart. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god. But on top of that, I think we're gonna have that be like the B plot. So the A plot, Superman and Lex teaming up to fight Brainiac. B plot, Justice Gang, Maxwell Lord potentially, like being more present in the movie with the Justice Gang as like the overseer of everything. And then, C plot, I guess, or whatever side plot they have is probably gonna be with Lois and the rest of the gang. But I'm actually interested in seeing how James Gunn does these big crossovers, but you're fitting them within like a Superman story. It's like with first Superman movie, it was Superman, but it was kind of Super Friends to an extent because they had Mr. Terrific, you had other characters that fit and that just helped push the movie forward. And with this next movie, Man of Tomorrow, you're gonna have possibly even more superheroes. So it's gonna be like it's gonna be like kind of like a mini, kind of like how this is a perfect example. Kind of like how Civil War felt in Captain America Civil War. Wasn't called Avengers, but it was essentially Avengers 2.5, literally. So I could definitely see that being the way they do it. Like we're setting up the projects, like the big like team up projects within the, like within the plot of Superman, because Superman will be the main like figurehead of the universe, which I like, which he should be. So should Batman, and obviously Wonder Woman when they get to that. But man, I could talk about this shit for fucking hours, bro. I love Superman. I love the DCU, man. It's just so crazy. Literally 5 years ago, we was in the fucking shitter. Now look at us. We got a Superman sequel coming out in the span of like under what, a year or 2 years. Like we're getting a Superman movie. On top of that, we're getting Supergirl next year. So we're getting Superman this year, Supergirl next year, and then on top next year after that, Man of Tomorrow with Superman and Lex, possibly fighting Brainiac with the Justice Gang. Like, and then after that, we're gonna have to figure out where that leads to, how that furthers the plot of the DC. Like, so much, bro, so much, and I'm very excited for Lanterns. I want to see how Jon Stewart fits in this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's my nigga, bro. I love Jon Stewart ever since Justice League. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. You can tell I love DC, man. Love this universe. Love what James Gunn's doing with everything. And if you love DC, go ahead and subscribe, nigga, because I'm gonna be talking about DC content. I'm gonna post a DC video probably either today or tomorrow after this one. It's gonna be about like DC fights, I think. So I'm gonna make a video about that, and then we gonna crank out DC content, later on, crank throughout the rest of this year, into next year, because next year's gonna be stacked, boy. We're gonna have filming. It's gonna be filming. I'm hungry as shit. We're gonna be literally filming freaking Man of Tomorrow literally next year, like around the same time they filmed Superman of last year. So crazy, man. But without further ado, man, like, comment, subscribe. As I say all the time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Helps grow the channel. Turn on post notifications so you know when I'm posting videos. Man, DC, man. On to great things, man. On to greater and more beautiful pastures other than the fucking Snyderverse, the fucking DCEU. Without further ado, man, I'll see y'all niggas.